The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
Well, we were up a little bit higher. The volume wasn't all that exciting. Word came out that there will be $200 billion of tariffs going out for Chinese products. And the question is just when does China come back and at least give something back? Of course, we're at the ludicrous levels of a trade deficit. And of course, a lot of this is political wrangling for getting back manufacturing jobs in the United States. Some people, I guess it's personal preference whether you'd rather see these folks have Facebook or Google, or if we actually had jobs in the Midwest with people actually building stuff. I guess it'd be a nice combination of both. I can see the arguments for both, except the fact that how narrowly and how few jobs there are as a percentage basis for technology. And we can see that with the people that have been made rich in Silicon Valley. A handful of them are billionaires. Don't see that much happening in the manufacturing plants of the Midwest. So they got a lot of money. They can pull a lot of levers, especially if you own your own newspaper, something that the CEO of Amazon is out doing today. Blessed, which I thought was a little weird, blessed reporters. As the only question I have is if the reporters watch the politician, who watches the reporters? Which would be a good question. Last time I looked, were just people. Can't question them, can't ask about them, can't do anything. They're apparently saints. The only thing I can figure out. I distrust everybody equally. How about that? I think that's a good. I don't know if you need to be mad about it, but just because somebody has a job, I don't feel they have kind of any monopoly on the truth. And sometimes they have a lot more bias, and that's the reason that they're in the jobs they are. So we'll see. But not the greatest day for the Amazon dude so far. Other things going on, again, like I said, we're off a few points. Market kind of pulled back a little bit on these. I think a lot of people are just thinking eventually they'll hit a number that the Chinese actually will start squealing about and maybe come to the table and be serious. Again, we could probably, if it got the worst of it, we could lose about 5 million jobs here in the United States. That would transfer to about 125 million jobs, though, in China. So there is a bit of asymmetry to who's going to lose. And if you think of anything as a game theory, certainly problematic. China, in their military ambitions, certainly looks like they're ramping up their efforts to go back and reclaim Taiwan. And the question is, if we had a weakened presidency after the elections, do you think China would try to invade Taiwan at this point? They're certainly lining up all the boats and missiles and everything they have. And the question is, would anybody stand in their way? That's certainly they'd like to take it without a shot. That's getting harder by the day. They thought that they had at least enough of the Taiwanese ready to cower to them, but yeah, they bought a lot of arms in the last year. Looks like they're setting up. And of course, the biggest problem that the Chinese have is they've got to go across that Straits of I can't even say it. Straits of Taiwan. So the question is again, what's going to happen in the short term? A stronger U.S., a stronger rest of the world, South Korea, probably would put a pin in those ideas for a while, at least for the Chinese. You can always email me at path@tfnn.com. You can call me at 877-927-6648 or put a message in the den. Yeah, somebody in the den said trust and verify. I'm not real hot on the press. I mean, they've been on this how many people died in the hurricane thing, and they're reporting 3,000 with some kind of computer model when the number was about 18. You got to look at basically everything these days with a fairly jaundiced view of who it came from and where and what their motivation is for actually pushing out stuff that this doesn't pass the smell test whatsoever. What else do we have going on out here? We concluded one of the bigger trades of the year in the Tech Insider, a long list of really good ones this year. If you want to check that out, you can. Of course, we've got Tiger Dollars. The best thing to do is go get those Tiger Dollars today and extend your subscription to either the Tech Insider or the Path of Least Resistance. But we'll probably talk a little bit more about that trade with Tom O'Brien at 3:30. Other things going on. Most of what I'm looking at doesn't give a very clear view of higher or lower. I don't see a lot of risk and reward for being long. There are enough stocks out there without any short sales in them to make me think that they could fall fairly quickly if we did get a surprise. The summation indexes in both the New York Stock Exchange and NYSE are trending down, and you get surprises in the direction. But the stock market, at least big moves down, much more like a hurricane, very hard to predict. And I don't know if there's anything more to say about it than that. As I said, 3.8 billion shares, which is not bad. But back in January, February, this is, as we got above these levels, we were doing about 12 billion shares on the day. And of course, none of these things are coming in anywhere close to those levels. Does it mean we're going down? No. It does mean to be very, very careful. Have the hairs on the back of your neck kind of stand up. Know that a storm could be coming. Doesn't happen, but be very careful. There are times when you can be very bold in the market, but there aren't a lot of people that are very bold and old in the stock. We'll be back in a minute.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1901, U.S. President William McKinley dies after being shot by a deranged arcanist during the Pan American Exposition in Buffalo, New York. McKinley won his first congressional seat at the age of 34, spent 14 years in the House, becoming known as the leading Republican expert on tariffs. After losing his seat in 1890, McKinley served 2 terms as governor of Ohio. By 1896, he emerged as the leading Republican candidate for president. In 1898, he went up and ran the, It was Spanish out of Cuba and several of the other islands. And at that point, we did end up being kind of a bigger country. And of course, I guess we have enough arcanists today too, right? Not too different than today. Things in the press, same thing. Tariffs, whack jobs. You never know what's going to happen in the stock markets or the news. But always expect the unexpected. Let's go ahead and get to some charts. We'll get started. First question comes in about the SMHs. As I said last week, these things are in a triangle. You kind of got the bust of it higher to 109.87. I think you can make the case on the light volume that we have today that we're probably going to go back down to the 101 area. That's see, what do we have now? 3.6 million shares on the SMHs. The high of the day is 106.29 so far. But 2 days ago, we had let's call it 9.3 million shares. So we're going to come in way light as we come back in, and also back into the candle of 9 million shares back down on the 6th of this month. So certainly from a perspective of volume, some of these sectors are quite weak compared to others. The energy from the August 17th low to the September 5th high back down to the September 12th low did have more energy. So you're bouncing here a little bit. And of course, there's some stocks that are going to do well, some stocks are not. The biggest influence right now in stocks is Apple. It really hasn't done much. You can make a case that this is starting to come down a little bit and forming a kind of a little right shoulder here. Now, more important to me would be any close back below a 9-day or a 3x3 displaced moving average. And that only means this thing only has to close back below again of about 223 to 220 in the first couple of days of next week, become very weak. Support would then come back in at about 212, 205, and then 200. It had kind of a nice bounce yesterday. Didn't have as much volume as it did on the downside the day before, the dog and pony. And I like the phones. We talked about it yesterday. I just continue to think that it's going to be a slow fall season until we get into the phones with 5G next year. Yes, it's all a little history repeating. What else do we have out here? Okay. Tiger dollars, we talked about that. Best deal in town. Best way to make some money on a day where the market's not going very far, very fast. What else do we have? Okay. Where's that? Oh, I'm trying to find a tag out here. We have out there. Okay. 903. Good enough. Anyway, back to Apple. Pretty good pattern out here. This thing has been above the average, or went above the average, starting August 13th. Went above it, closed back below it for several days. It's now back above it. Again, this is the kind of pattern that you wait for confirmation. You don't really can't really make the trade today and hope that it goes lower. But again, you want to watch how this comes in. Not a lot of volume today. Monday and Tuesday of next week, I think, will be the Rubicon for Apple, whether or not it can hold up well into the problems that I think it's going to face here for a little while. We've talked about it all this week, and that is when the hurricanes come, the stocks to play, or at least one of the stocks to play, is GNRC. They make all the generators when the power goes off. I think I saw something on TV today that said that there are 300,000 people without power already. That'll get fixed fairly quickly. In fact, I live not too far from a community center, and I walk the dogs 3-4 miles every morning when I get up. And all of the trucks, it's a staging area, community center is. And when I see the trucks there, I know that they're all getting ready to leave and take their pilgrimage up to an area not too far from where the expected hurricane's supposed to hit. So I saw all of those guys getting ready to leave on Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday, maybe Tuesday. So they left a long time ago. Anyway, generator company, this thing has kind of come back down. There'd have to be a huge change in what's going to happen. That certainly, I can't see any weather forecasts that change other than the fact that very heavy rains. But the end of the world that was predicted Tuesday and Wednesday looks like it's not going to come to pass, although there still will be significant damage. What else do we have out here? Got a question about energy, XLE. Of course, the Baker Hughes numbers came out at 1 o'clock today. Nothing in them would make me bearish. Not a bad day, but the volume's just about okay. I still suspect and still believe that we're awash in oil. There isn't a lot that's going to change that. A lot of times it's all about supply. Sometimes it's all about demand. And demand is probably not going to change that much, but supply can change wildly in crude. And it continues to look like we're going to have significant amounts of oil for a while. If all this gets settled and Iran settles down, I don't have a problem seeing long-term oil back in the 40s. I think that's a fairly mild prediction, but it may take another 6 months or a year to get back down there. I got IMs. David Framingham, how you doing today?
Hi, Dave. How are you?
We're going to the break. We'll be right back in a second. I got to talking and not looking. We'll get with you.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary power law vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And hopefully we have David from Framingham, Massachusetts there.
Hi, Dave. Hi.
Good.
Could you take a look at Heckler there, HL?
Mm-hmm. What are you thinking on this?
Not in there yet, but I'm thinking about it.
You know, the only problem I have is how long. It kind of looks like maybe it's bottom. The only problem I have is how long is it going to go sideways
Right.
before
Yeah.
you get any upside. And so I'd probably just wait for some kind of signal. I don't see much in it now. I mean, you got a nice one-day bounce out of the thing. But again, you know, I'd like to see the thing just go sideways for like 2 weeks. And
Okay.
everybody quit calling Tom about it, about gold and gold miners. I'd like everybody to just kind of ignore it for a while. And of
Okay.
course, unfortunately, that's probably not going to happen around TFNN. We got a lot of gold traders, but when it disappears from CNN's, or not CNN's, but from CNBC's ticker, when no one else is talking about it anymore, um, generally a good time to start looking at things like that. I kind of like it being bored to death, or people hating it so much that it just doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
And and you know, I would love for someone to call in and tell me that they want to go short. Now that might tell me a little bit more about anything in the market, but you know, I just don't see where there's a decent risk reward either long or short. And does it look okay? Yeah, but I don't understand the long short risk reward here. There's just not that much money to be made until I get a signal that says something else has happened. Especially since, like I said, this week, I mean, gold went kind of sideways for about 10 years.
Right.
For all I know, it's doing it now. I've never heard anybody tell me what would change or what the reasons were for it going
Yeah.
sideways for a while. And that one thing I'd love to get an answer to. And maybe that would give me a little bit more confidence to put a trade on. But no one has a really good answer for it. They all kind of dance around it. But, you know, gold does have a fairly decent track record of doing nothing for a very long time.
Yeah. David, does the bottoms on the Heckler, the 262, they look like double bottoms or quadruple bottoms here? Does that look right to you at all?
Oh, yeah, it is. Like I said, the bottom's not bad. You busted the first volume low that had 7.6 million shares with 4.5 million shares. So
Yeah.
you ended up going what, 3 cents below the previous low. You closed back into the trading range, and that tells you one thing, that it may not be going. Certainly in the next few days, it's probably not going lower.
Yeah.
What
Because
it
it
doesn't
looks like
tell
we got 4 bottoms. Yeah.
Yeah, what it doesn't tell you is that it's going up. So
Okay.
normally when you see that, let's say you had a long-term short on, that tells you one thing. You don't want to be, it tested it, it closed. If I was short a stock that had a pattern like this, I would be out on that low of 259.
Yeah.
Now,
I
what
see
it
that.
doesn't what it doesn't tell you, you had a nice bounce there. What it doesn't tell you is that you're going right back up to 415 or something. And
Could
that's
it
what
do
I
that,
would be,
David?
huh?
Could it get back up to the 415 or $4
Oh,
area there?
yeah, the next run up when it starts, I would see 415 is something certainly doable.
Yeah.
The only thing is timing it and
Timing.
getting that
Right. Right.
and getting it
Depends.
right. And
Yeah.
are you willing to sit here and stare at it for 2 weeks as it kind of bounces around in the $3 range
Yeah,
or
I do have the
280?
patience for that because I
Yeah,
think that the gold might have bottomed out also because it's going to move with the gold anyways. All of them probably.
yeah. Again, and the other thing is I would probably want to be long the metal itself.
Okay. Okay.
So if now, does this look bad? No. Are there probably some fairly good looking gold charts out there? The answer is yes. I would still think that I would rather be in probably a gold option on the GLD or on Royal Gold or something that moves with the metal itself
Okay.
instead of the profits of these miners. Not that you won't make money in one of these charts. I'm just suspecting or speculating that you might make more money in the metal itself. These things do tend to move fairly well, but there's a lot of overhead resistance on them. So yeah, it is a personal preference for me, but
Okay.
just my own personal preference. I
Yeah.
haven't really traded gold since it had that real big move back in, what was it, December or November, and it gave up, and I got out.
Okay.
And can't remember what it was, January maybe or February. Anyway, it went up for a while. It failed, and I got out, and that was about it. And I haven't seen anything that really looked good, and that makes me think, one, it's bottomed, and two, it's instantly going higher. Again, I give a lot of people the same speech: is just because it's bottomed doesn't mean it's a V bottom.
Okay.
It may be a U bottom, and that U can be a long time, longer than you can sit there and stare at it. And generally, when I've looked at these and not waited until I got some kind of signal, I've always been on these stocks. And just after I sold it, of course, it started moving higher. And of course, not only did it bug me while I was there, it bugged me after I got out of it too. And maybe that's more of a psychological component to making sure that you don't spend a lot of time in a stock and emotionally invest in it without it starting to move higher. Because then it kind of wears you out when the real opportunity's there.
Yeah. David, could we take a look at another one? You got to.
Yeah, I got plenty of time today.
The AMD here, it got up to 34.14, fell back to 30, and it's.
It had a rough day yesterday. You know what? I thought this thing was probably tapped out at 22.
Yeah.
I don't see all the money coming into it that everybody is yelling about it.
Well,
I think more.
They're giving it a $40 target now. Everybody.
Yeah.
So.
To me, the whole idea was that everybody rushed into this because Intel came back. I don't think AMD's making any more money than they were when the stock price was 22. So I could see that this could fairly easily pull back. The question is, when is this thing going to crack? AMD is the second banana, both in video cards and processors. So they're not the king of any particular thing. And I've also heard a lot of false or write-out lies about the industry and AMD. And that always makes me nervous about a company when the proponents of it have to embellish or outright lie about the numbers of what they're doing. It's a good company. You know, when they were $2, I couldn't see how they were going to not go bankrupt. But of course, I wasn't short it either. It's just never impressed me that much fundamentally. You want to hang on? We'll talk more about it.
Thank you. Thank you,
Okay.
David.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Okay, we're back with David. Did I answer all your questions, or are we
Yes,
still
you did.
on something?
So the AMD, what kind of a pullback would you see if you saw one, David? I was thinking of the 26 area, if anything, maybe.
Yeah, 25 actually is where I
Oh,
look
25
at it.
you got, okay.
Yeah, let's look at a retracement. Yeah, 24.34 is a 50% retracement of the last move from 14.54.
Okay.
And are you watching on Tiger TV?
Yes.
Confluence works fairly good on these setups like this. And there's going to be this big blue block. I think it's blue. I'm colorblind. Big blue block from about 2203 to 2434, 2466, right in that area. That's where you would look for it to come in and have very light volume. So 25 is where you start getting interested. Very light volume, 2350, 24 bucks is where you would try to think about setting the hook.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Can
go
you
ahead.
take another one, David? Can you?
How much time? One more. and we'll
Okay,
finish.
gold. How about the gold itself? What do you see? I think gold could have bottomed out, but I'm just wondering about the gold here now.
Yeah, like I said, gold could bottom out, but doesn't mean it's going higher.
Right. That's right, too.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, the only problem I have is it can do nothing.
Okay.
And generally when things come down on heavy volume, as it did off of 18 or 1900 bucks, the question is how long? Now we had an initial bounce, and now we're going back down to this level that seems like it's got a fairly decent amount of support. And you go a little higher and you find a lot of sellers. So to me,
Yeah.
the best thing for these kind of stocks is just to let them sit. And after about 2 weeks of it being at 1,200 bucks,
Okay.
that's about as much as anybody can stand. It's either going to go higher or lower at that point.
Okay.
And if it's people that every time it continues to go a little higher are selling, eventually those guys are going to get out of the way,
Okay.
right?
So
So,
I'm thinking of the same thing. Okay.
So-
You're right. Yeah.
you know, the easiest thing is there's always another trade, so you don't have to worry about missing this
Right.
one. There'll be something else. But
Right.
just watch it for a few weeks, and
Okay.
the best thing in the world is people getting bored out of their minds, stocks going sideways, especially about 10, 15 days. I've got a scan that I call the Lazarus pattern. which is back from the dead. The reason I
Okay.
call it Lazarus, and it's just stocks that are going sideways. And I look at and get that scan every day.
Yeah,
And
okay.
I've had a few in the newsletters. There just haven't been a lot lately, but
Okay.
a lot of times these things just take off like rockets. They get about 10 or 12 days in it. And then, like I said, people at that point, they're either going to sell it or they're going to buy it.
Okay.
Now, at highs, stocks going sideways are a good sign of distribution. At
Okay.
lows, after they pulled back for a long time, it's a good sign of accumulation.
Okay.
So, if the stocks come back, it's double bottom, like you saw Hecla did it. Now it goes sideways for about 2 weeks. That means there's probably somebody that's got a bid right under whatever the price is. Every time it goes a little lower, they buy it.
Okay.
And they do that for about 2 weeks. And a lot of people give up. The gamblers go away. And generally, that's a fairly decent time to buy.
Okay.
So just like I said, just don't get too ahead of yourself on it. Give these things a chance to consolidate out. And, maybe we'll talk again about this next week.
Okay. All
Okay.
right, David. Thank you very much, and have a good weekend. Okay.
You too, David.
Thank you
We're
very
gonna
much
go
for your time.
Thank you. We're going to go to what do we have here? A few more questions. First one is Tesla. What are your options saying about Tesla? It's much lower. But again, I'm not going to get excited about shorting a stock, no matter how much I think it's going lower. Again, I just don't want to sit around and miss a lot of other opportunities waiting for Tesla to break. The reason why, of course, is its massive short interest. It's got, in fact, it's gone from 2 days to cover to 4 days to cover in the data that came out yesterday on shorts. It's 25.8% short with 32.8, almost 33 million shares short. The only stock that has more dollars short than Tesla is Apple at the moment, which will give you a little idea of why I'm kind of suspect about Apple and why everybody's kind of short the thing. But you had a huge move in the short interest, and that's something I always don't like. I like stocks like Tesla to go up and run all the shorts out, and it will seem almost impossible, the prices they get. Once those shorts have covered, then you get the big gap downs like you had before, and moves down from, what was it, 380 back down to 280 or whatever. In fact, I guess we could bring that chart up. Now, one of the other things I want to watch is the daily stats on how many short positions were initiated in Tesla. You don't, from that number, you get an accounting every 2 weeks, bi-monthly short data, but you also get the data each day for Tesla. And what you want to see in these are people not shorting it anymore. And you get just the opposite. I'm going to read the last few days of Tesla. On the 10th, you had 26%. On the 11th, you had 31%. On the 12th, 28%. Yesterday, 28%. So I want to see that probably. I would imagine that Tesla is going to finally fail when it goes up and you have about 15, maybe even less than that short on a daily basis for a handful of days. When the shorts give up, Tesla is pretty good. Now, on a basis of just going after Tesla and saying that you wanted to look at the chart, it's actually, if it didn't have such a monster short position, this would be a beautiful place to attack it. Again, if you look at using both Fibonacci references, one from September 7th and the one from August 20th, with 378 being the focus high from August 7th, you're coming into fairly a hard resistance between 298 and 303. So you're not that far away from it. using that pattern. But again, the problem with incredibly high shorted stocks is every time it goes down a buck, you got somebody wanting to cover it. When there aren't a lot of shorts, it really can move much faster and go lower. So I just stay away from these things because they're so frustrating. And like I said, they kind of, a lot of times I can find another stock that will go down a great deal faster, like Tesla, and everybody are fighting over it. If it's in the headlines, I kind of like to go somewhere else. Just my opinion.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we're back. Got an email from, who is it? Hector. Anyway, talking about Snap. And he's kind of caught what I see a lot of, and that is when everybody's piling on and saying the end is nigh, that you want to look at a stock. In fact, I put it in my newsletter today. It is a saying from the 1970s hog pits in Kansas City, and that's buy them while they're crying and sell them while they're yelling. There are a lot of people crying about the end of Snap and everything else. I can say that at least there's a handful of things that say that Snap may have bottomed out here. Again, It may, I would love for this thing to go sideways for a while. I know what my target would be. If this thing can stay in the 9s and go sideways for a week or two, maybe get to the beginning of October. The next bounce in this, if it can hold, would be up to about 1361, maybe 1330, right in that area. There's a nice level of confluence in that, and that's kind of this nice shoulder that runs from, what is this? I'm going to say July, is it July? No, June 19th, all the way over to July 26th. That's going to be the hard resistance on it. But if you wanted to trade from about $9 to about $13, which would be a nice little pop, you need it. Now, it came down on decent energy, but the energy off the last two legs has come down with less. There is a fairly good thing about trying to run bigger holders out of this at $10. But then take a look at it. Anyway, Tom O'Brien, I'll be in the next, or at the bottom of the next hour. We'll be talking technology on Fridays off at noon. In the meantime, don't when you can, not when you have to. And we'll see you here Monday. Same bat channel, same bat time.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.